This is a message from your guides reading for Family of Light. Okay, so I have two group crystals here, and I have two crystals that I pulled specifically for your reading. So I'm going to go ahead and surround us in some positive space with my Fuchsite. Okay, so I have my Fuchsite here, like I've already showed you. So this resonates with the heart chakra. It's very calming, it's also very healing, and it also has to do with picking up on information, especially picking up on information that's going to aid in your soul's growth or aid with healing your emotions, or removing programmings and different things. It also has to do specifically with past lives and retrieving past life information. Then I have my obsidian here. So this is really good at deflecting negative energies. It's very good for cleansing your space. It's also very grounding and very centering. Okay, and then I have the two group stones here. So this is my purple fluorite. This has to do with mental clarity. It also has to do with psychic protection, cleansing your auric space, and also, in general, psychic abilities. Whether it's mediumship, empathy, whatever it is. And then I have my rose quartz, the other group stone. So this resonates with the heart chakra. And it has to do with healing relationships, also a lot of higher emotions, love, joy, comfort, peace. And not only healing relationships with others, but also our relationship to our own self. And also feeling good about yourself and almost seeing yourself for who you are, so feeling worthy as well. So your guides are pointing out the throat chakra. So many people in our group have something going on with the throat chakra. But they're pointing this out. And there's definitely some kind of block going on here with the throat chakra. So the throat chakra has to do with a lot of things. Mainly it has to do with communicating who you are. It has to do with expressing yourself in an authentic way in front of others, with yourself. Also the way that you express yourself in creative ways, so it's very artistic. It has to do as well with general communication, whether it's just speaking to others one-on-one, it's speaking in front of a group. But again, expressing yourself authentically in whatever way you do it, and also through the way that you speak and your communication with others, also your self-dialogue. It has a lot to do with your self-identity, since it has to do with expressing who you are. It also has to do with yourself, knowing who you are, and again, your relationship with yourself, also the way that you speak, the way that you talk, sort of in your own mind about yourself, the way that you view yourself and look at yourself. That's coming in specifically with your reading, even with some of the crystals. I wasn't saying that in the other readings, even though they are group crystals. Grounding is really important for you. Grounding, getting centered, being still, but also beliefs about yourself and self-doubt. This is something coming up. On the one hand, you really know who you are. You definitely have a strong sense of self and your place. You have a really good connection with your guides. You're definitely an older soul. And this kind of message always comes through with your readings. I remember, I think that even came through like a long time ago. Obviously, I don't remember that reading, but I know you've kind of always had that coming through, this older soul, mediumship type of stuff. But there's a feeling coming in like you have to make sure that your self dialogue is really up to par. That you're always feeling positively about yourself, good about yourself, and that you know who you are, and the way that you communicate with yourself. There has to be a balance, obviously. We have to look at our faults in a sense. We have to know where we could have done better, or know what areas we can improve upon, and look at those things. We have to look at the blocked areas and fix them. But at the same time, we have to love those areas too. We have to always love those areas, even if we identify them as an area where we can improve. We can still see it in a high way, and we can still encourage ourselves and still feel like we're perfect. Even with our flaws, we're perfect. There's a feeling that they're sending a past lifetime. It feels like it's with your father. I'm getting an energy of your father. It feels like there's a connection to him with a past life. It also feels like he's been somewhere else before. I don't know how much he really connects to that in this lifetime, though, and I don't feel as well like that's really that necessary for him. So he doesn't really feel like a starseed soul in the sense of how he would be connecting to that here. His soul is not really gravitating towards that, in other words. But whether somebody resonates with it or not, whether they would really call themselves a starseed, or if I would pick up on that necessarily, or any other psychic or somebody would, because they might just, their soul might not really be needing that for whatever reason. Still, Anybody could have had a life somewhere else. But you've had a life somewhere else with this person. And in this lifetime, I feel like he's doing better than in that one. And there's a feeling like there are some things to clear there, but there's this almost a feeling of like self-doubt. Like there's a self-doubt that comes from a connection to that. And they're saying that if you think about it, you can see almost some self-doubts that he has. So this is almost even like some almost like cord cutting that you can do. Also, they're saying that it's good to breathe and it's good to center yourself and be very mindful of your emotions, but now it almost feels like they're speaking about excitement in a way, or kind of like anxiety even. So it doesn't even have to be something that you perceive necessarily as negative. It can be coming from something that's fearful, and then you can be triggered by something else, even if maybe you thought that you were calm, or maybe if you, not necessarily calm, but you thought that you were feeling positive. So you might be feeling something almost masking itself as an excitement sometimes, and really it's more fear-based, or it's not as calm as it could be. And then you can almost be triggered in another area, they're saying. But some of this feels like it's coming somehow from this connection that they're mentioning. I don't feel like they can really go into that into detail, obviously, because we're already to our time frame. So thank you very much for allowing me to do this reading for you, another reading for you. Thank you very much. I truly hope that this benefits you. Namaste.